toughest decision that I've made for the past 6 months was choosing my major in university. Before entering this university, my diploma course was in electronic communication. But then, by exploring more major in the early years, I was friends with communications and microelectronic. So, by interviewing my academic advisor, the existing students and alumni, I chose microelectronic as my major in degree. I am thankful that I've made that choice. When I finish my studies, I can seek for job opportunities in industrial of microelectronic since this major is growing every year. At my previous internship, I underestimate the amount of time I would need to work on a presentation for a team meeting. I was still getting used to the workflow in a busy office, so I didn't realize that I would need an extra few hours to complete my task. Luckily, I managed to catch the mistake before the presentation was due to ask my supervisor for help to complete it in time. It was a valuable lesson in time management, and I've become better at prioritization and mapping out my schedule as a result for that experience. One time, a customer was yelling and complaining about how it was taking too long for her turn to be treated during the sales day, which naturally stressed me and my staff. I knew that her behavior was due to frustration, so I didn't take it personally and stayed calm. I apologized to her and acknowledged that it should never happen again. I also gave her credit on her next order. That way she'd be encouraged to come back and give us another chance to give her a good service. I've been offered to work together with my best friend who worked as my supervisor. One day, there are sales in our franchise make my supervisor order stock more than usual. Unfortunately, after a few days, the product can still be used, but cannot be served to the customer due to product lifetime. But then, my supervisor asked me to serve the product to the customer to avoid loss to our company. I told my supervisor that I don't want to serve the product due to the product guideline. I typically aim to tackle the most difficult part of the project early on a day, because if I wait until the end of the day to tackle the tough parts, I will stand a chance of running out of time. I also like to break tasks into particular tasks, allows me to keep cool and not get overwhelmed while working on the deadline. So if I saw that I absolutely could not accomplish the particular task on time, I would ask for the help. Our company was going to having an annual dinner. The date was approaching in 2 months. As the manager, it was my responsibility to coordinate the event. There were several details I had to handle. 2 months before the event, I sent an email to the manager of the sales department asking him to begin the process of sending out the emails to the VIP and all the employees. I received no reply at that time. By the end of the week, the email still hadn't been sent out. So I decided that he needs motivation. After 3 days, I craft an email telling him that all the tasks for the event were handled. Save the email that he had to send out, and I asked the sales manager to come to my office and review it. I told him that the email was going to be sent out by the end of the day. The motivation that he needed. By the end of the day, he sent out the email. The sales manager came to me a week later to apologize for not sending out the emails in a timely manner. Even though my boss was great, it was sometimes difficult to work with him. For example, I once disagreed with my boss over how to best help a customer. I talked to him to improve his communication skills. I was open and honest about the problem I had with the way he wanted to do things. It turned out there was just a simple misunderstanding. That disagreement we had showed me the importance of communicating with my co-workers to make sure that something old doesn't become a bigger problem. Even though it wasn't always ideal, we found a way to really work well together. The goal I set was to graduate Polytechnic as an excellent student while working part-time in related field. I started by dividing the content of the books and the exercises to be completed. Basic division have me number of hours I need to study daily. I added 2 hours to that number and kept it as my target. Reaching this goal showed me that I could dedicate myself to my career and reach the goal that I set for myself. I always wanted to become a mathematics teacher like my mother. I really love mathematics. I believe that there is no other work is enjoying more than be a mathematics teacher. When I finished my secondary school, I got chance twice to sit for education exam, but unfortunately, my luck was not with me. I could not make it. Finally, I moved on and chose another path. I learned a lesson. Whatever you want in life, you need to tell it to the universe loud and clear. Also, never forget the value of the right mentor. If I had a mentor that time who could guide me and keep me accountable and focused, perhaps I could be successful in the examination.